Hello everyone! Welcome back to this game. My name is Draygone the Willem Fuzzbottom Jr. and these are some of my patrons. Snow Hazard, and a special thanks to my special sponsor, Lit Dragon. Now before we get started here today, I wanna ask again about the video quality here. Nighttime is kinda dark and I wanna make sure things are visible enough. For example, in those trees right in front of me, right below the trees you should be seeing a dark patch of ground. That's visible enough, right? I have fiddled with the brightness settings as best I can. I can go brighter than this, but at that point the colors start getting washed out, so I'm not sure whether I want to. Here, I'll show you right now. There we go. Now things are brighter, but at the same time, colors are washed out, so let me know what you think. For now, I'm going to go back to what I have it right here, because I personally think this is the best setting in regards to brightness and color saturation. Anyway, when we last left off, we were playing as this guy right here, Akira. He is a Ronin. Now, last time I kind of made the mistake of assuming that a Ronin was some kind of assassin. That is not necessarily the case, apparently. I'll explain more in a bit, but first, to recap, last time some guy hired Akira to kill some other guy because that other guy molested some guy's daughter. And we have, in fact, done that. We have killed some other guy. And I know the details that I'm giving aren't very specific, but the details aren't important. This was just some introductory quest to get us kind of used to how the game plays. In fact, I kind of need to finish up that introductory quest, head back to the castle, and get my reward. We'll do that later on in this episode, but first, I kind of want to explore this here town. Shouldn't take too long. The town is not a very big one. Reason why I want to explore it is to get some backstory. Now, like I said last time, this is not my first time This is not my first time let's playing this game. I let's played it once before, 8 years ago. Now, one thing that I did not do the first time I played this game was actually look up what a Ronin actually was. Not Ronin, Ronin. That is not an easy thing to remember. And apparently, a Ronin is some sort of samurai warrior who no longer has a master. Either because the master has died, or because the master no longer likes the Ronin. Like the Ronin disgraced his master, or something like that. And so, we have Akira here, who is, in fact, a Ronin. Keep that in mind, because that's kind of important. Alright, with that in mind, how about we get some backstory here, Let's start by talking to you, Mr. Archer. I have nothing to say to you. Well, screw you. Where's that funny-looking man that was wandering around? Maybe he can give us a little bit more information. You, give me a little bit more information. You're Akira, aren't you? Get out of this town. We don't want your traitor blood here. Watch it, old man. You know what I do for a living, right? Do you really want to get on my bad side? Alright. Just go about your business. Alright, that was definitely a bit more informative. So Akira is a traitor. Let's do a little bit more recapping. Let's do a little bit more recapping here. So we are in the country of Sakai, which is under martial rule by some country that I can't remember the name of. Did we learn the name of it last time? I can't remember. It's not important. The important thing is, this country is under martial rule. And last time we kind of visited the general who is presiding over this country, and he thanked Akira for helping with some rebellion a while back. And as a reward, Akira now has a mansion. So yeah, Akira A traitor to his country. A rich traitor. Not rich enough, though. Apparently, when he was given that mansion, he was not given a whole lot of money to go along with it. He's got a mansion, a butler, and 70 gold. Which is unfortunate, because right here in the shop is a weapon that I kind of want to buy. However, it's kind of expensive. What's interesting is I actually saw this sword back in the castle town, and they were selling it there for a different price. Apparently, and I already knew this, but apparently, items in shops are not static. Rather, you can set the price of the item in each individual shop. I forget exactly how much the heavy cost in the castle town. I want to say it was 500, but it might have been like 450. Can't remember specifically. Doesn't matter. Can't afford it. Meanwhile, we got something new here. The Sapphire. I don't remember what that did. It's been 8 years after all. I can probably look it up pretty easily. In fact, who wants to see the editor? We can go ahead and see the editor. I'll probably kind of skip ahead to where the item is in the editor to avoid spoilers. But yeah, let's go ahead and head into the editor, because this game is not password protected. In fact, RPG Maker 3 does not allow you to password protect your games. Alright, so where is going to be in here? So let's go into my item menu and in fact skip ahead to the Sapphire. Alright, here is the Sapphire. It is, in fact, a sapphire that raises magic. How much? 10 points. Apparently you can, in fact, set the price here. So I am a little bit mistaken on that. You do set a price for items, but I guess when it comes to shops... Alright, so here I am in the layout editor of Oteki. Let's go ahead and check out the shop. By the way, I am glad that that Sapphire is only equipable on Akira, because while I was in that menu, right on the right side of the screen was a list of characters who couldn't equip the item. So, glad it was only Akira, because that could have been spoilerific. Anyway, let's see here. Here we are, the shop list for the shop in Oteki. Now, as we just established, the Sapphire is set to 200 gold. But in this shop, it is set to 180. And that is because of this option right here. The price markup. The price markup. This is an interesting feature we got here. So we can set it to 100%, and now the Sapphire would be 200 gold. But in this shop, it is set to 90%. Therefore, the Sapphire is 90% of its price. 180 gold. Definitely an interesting feature. And if you're the sort of person who likes to, what is the word, min-max, you can pay attention to the prices of shops in the game you're playing, and go after the shop where the prices are lower. What is the lowest? 80%? I want to say that when you sell items, they sell for 50%, so... No, you would not be able to, like, buy it in one shop and sell it for another for a profit, so that's kind of a shame. Still, though, it's an interesting feature. That's another thing I like to do with my RPG Maker Let's Plays, by the way. Check out the inner workings. It's not a thing I'm able to do very often, mainly with RPG Maker 3, because other RPG Makers, there's a password system in place, and yeah, I can't really go looking at the game for you all the time. But when I'm able to, I try. Anyway, how much money do I have right now? 70 gold? Yeah, I'm not going to be able to afford any of this stuff quite yet. Maybe after I finish that assassin quest. I don't know how much money I'm gonna be getting. I heard how much money, but I forget what it is because it's not important. I'll get it when I get it. After I get it, I should have enough money to buy something. And I'll probably buy it here, because like I said, I think the stuff here is cheaper than it was in the castle town. Anyway, here we have the inn. There is nobody in the back of this inn, so no reason to be here. I could spend the night here and make it daytime so that it's easier to see outside. It's only 30 gold too. However, I'm going to be doing some penny pinching here. As long as I don't have to stay at the inn, I'm not going to. I really want to save my money. Alright, with that out of the way, that only leaves one more house to deal with. Not this house though. I already went into this house last time, because the lady in there was all, "Hey, there's somebody in that house over there." And that was useful information for getting in there and killing the other guy. There was also a little kid in there who was all, "I shouldn't be talking to you." Apparently, because Akira is a traitor. How about that? So yeah, that pretty much leaves the Master's house. That kinda brings me back to a discussion I had at the start of this episode. So let's go ahead and talk to the Master, who is apparently a recolor of Akira. Freaking recolors. Also, freaking camera that just wants to rebound back to default position. This is not a good camera for looking around, I tell you that. Akira, why do you show your face here? You bring only shame to yourself and everyone in this village. Hey, there was nothing wrong with what I did. The war was hopeless. There was no way we could have stopped the Gaian army from taking over. All of you were fools for fighting a pointless battle. But this was your country, your homeland, and you abandoned it. You abandoned me, and all of your other comrades? Pretty sure that's comrades, without a second thought. And now you use the combat skills of our dying culture for profit, for meaningless death. No, meaningless death was your war against Gaia. There isn't even any point in talking with you. It's always the same worthless spiel. If you truly feel this way, then leave us in peace. Perhaps one day, you and I will settle this conflict once and for all. Yes, perhaps. And he turns his back on me. Fine, be that way. So there you have it, guys. That is why Akira is a Ronin. He turned against his country, and his master disowned him. Well, I guess we're pretty much done here on Oteki. We got that backstory we wanted, but I don't think I want to end this episode quite yet. We still have some time to get some things done, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is head back towards the castle. In case you're wondering what castle, I mean the castle over there. You know what? As long as I'm heading in that general direction, maybe we can get into another random encounter. Fight a new enemy. There are other enemies around here. Last time we fought a couple of vultures. What can we fight this time? Let's find out. We are fighting... We'll find out momentarily. A brigand. Does he go down in one hit? There's only one of him. Yep, goes down in one hit. If the brigand does anything of interest, no idea. As a reminder, we do not gain experience points from battles. Your level is determined by progressing the story, and also by performing sub-quests. We will actually be performing a couple of optional quests next time, in fact. But for now, I'm kinda curious about something. Over off in this direction is the first dungeon. But we're not supposed to be going there yet, so I'm kinda curious what would happen if, in fact, I go to the first dungeon. And you know what? I might as well go ahead and go through here and deal with some random encounters. Money is kind of important. By the way, I like how, as we go through this little forest here, we have all these petals floating around. Probably looks nicer during the daytime. We'll have that chance to go through here at day eventually. It's already starting to become brighter outside. Anyway, right up here is the first dungeon. It's just some cave on top of the hill. Hey, a critical hit! This game has those critical hits. Critical hits in RPG Maker 3 are actually really overpowered. It's not the damage that they cause, but critical hits actually paralyze enemies. It's definitely overpowered. Which is probably why Akira here is set to be completely immune to critical hits. Because being hit by a critical hit would definitely suck. In fact, a couple years ago, I Let's Played another RPG Maker 3 game called The Adventures of Bunny Wolf. And at one point, I encountered a bat that constantly caused critical hits against me, so I was just kind of sitting there, unable to do anything for a few turns, while it was constantly pecking away at my health. Kind of annoying. So I'm glad that Tsunami, the person who made this game, was nice enough to make Akira immune to critical hits. So what is this place? Iwa Cavern? I have a bad feeling about this place. I'd better leave. Alright, so we're being plot blocked. Speaking of being plot blocked... Alright, so here we are, back in Okiku. Straight ahead is Akira's mansion. Over there is the castle where the general is residing. The general who is currently overseeing this country. You know, that whole martial rule thing that's going on because Gaia invaded Sakai. Yeah, that. That has nothing to do with what I'm about to tell you. Instead, what I'm about to tell you is right in here. You remember how I'm kind of being plot blocked from talking to that guy in the back there? Well, as it turns out, if you sit here long enough, that guy back there, he is set to wander around, and he will actually come out from behind there so you can see who it is. I wound up discovering this after recording the last episode. Now, the interesting thing is, him wandering around does not work if you go to Sakai Okeki. It does not work if you go to Okeki. Once you visit Okeki, Mr. Man over there will not wander around anymore. I actually had to restart the game in order to show you that he wanders out, because he doesn't do that anymore at the point that I am. So apparently, Mr. Man over there is good old Ivan from the start of the game. Speaking of the start of the game, you remember how when I started this game, I decided to try leaving the castle instead of fighting Nikolai, and the game basically forced me to turn around? Yeah, I also did that when I first started playing this game 8 years ago. You see, one thing that I really like to do with the RPG Maker games that I play is, quote-unquote, break the game. I like to see how well made these games are, whether there's any exploits, or if I could do something the game creators did not consider. For example, trying to leave the area before I'm supposed to. And sure enough, Tsunami made sure that I could not do that, so good on you, Tsunami. It's also why I decided to head out into that dungeon over there, so that I can see if I can go into the dungeon before I was supposed to. And again, no I cannot. So again, good on you, Tsunami. So, as you watch my RPG Maker Let's Plays, you will see me doing things like that from time to time. I am also really good at finding glitches. Like, not even on purpose. I'll just stumble upon them by accident. There is one glitch in particular that is in this game that I am thinking of. It's not a big glitch, but it's there. And if I'm able to, I will definitely get it on camera. For now, though, let's go ahead and head into this place, shall we? Akira's house. Get ourselves our reward for killing the other guy. And there's the guy who hired us. Out of curiosity, though, hey, Mr. Butler, do you see anything new? Nope. Alright, let us go ahead and get our reward. It's done. Ah, yes, that was his watch. Right. When we killed the other guy, we took his watch as proof that we killed him. Thank you, sir. Here is the agreed amount. And we have 300 gold. Not really enough for that sword, but I did do a little bit of battling because of exploring to that dungeon out there. Maybe we can afford it. We're close to it. Yes, it's too bad the man had to die, but he was a Sakai native, and we Gaians have to keep our families pure. Really? So it has nothing to do with molestation. You're just racist. I killed the guy because you're racist. Dang. Now I feel dirty. It's gonna take a little bit to wash that dirt out of my fur. I mean no offense to you, of course. I know you're a native of this barbaric land too. But you at least... you at least seem to appreciate the superior culture we brought over after the invasion. I like typos. I like reading typos. Reading typos out loud is fun. Also, you're definitely being offensive. The superior culture we brought over after the invasion? Yeah, screw you. You know what? I'm killing you next. I don't care about Sakai or Gaia. I do only what benefits me. Now, if you're finished... Yeah, of course. I'm leaving. Goodbye. Yeah, you better run. Oh, sir, I almost forgot to tell you, another man dropped by while you were out. I believe his name was Ivan. Another job, I assume. I believe so, sir. He said he'd wait for you at the inn. Thank you, Bates. I'll go see what he's offering. I feel like I should say more about that racist commenting that guy was doing, but, nah, there's nothing else to go over that. Anything else? Yep. I hope this new job is profitable, sir. So Ivan somehow was able to get into the inn, despite us not being allowed to get into the inn. I'll visit him momentarily. Actually, I'll visit him now. I was about to head outside to save, but now that we can go into the inn, we can save inside the inn. By the way, in case you're wondering, thanks to that little payment and the monsters I battled outside, I now have 450 gold, which is exactly one more gold than I need in order to buy that sword back in Okeki. Unfortunately, I'm still not going to be able to buy that sapphire, but it's not important quite yet. What is important is talking to Mr. Ivan here. Good to see you again. Akira, I presume? Yes, you're the one who had a job for me? Ivan, right? Yes. Look, we don't have time. I need your help. So I hear, but my services don't come cheaply, and you don't look like you have much money, so... Here, take this. Received 100 gold. Ooh. And there's more where that came from, if you help me. What did you have in mind? And this seems like an interesting point to end this episode. So, down at the bottom of the screen is all of my patrons. So then, after being defeated by Nikolay, Ivan has come to Akira for help. But we've already seen what Nikolay is capable of. Can Akira handle this? Or is Ivan about to send Akira on a suicide mission? Find out next time!